right, y'all. Hey, it is Isis of Your Oasis Radio, and I am houseofisis.com. Sorry for the little snafu earlier. I was just running errands and had a little something on my mind that I wanted to share. I was just thinking about some stuff, and my dad had recently. Well, thank you for the hearts. Thank you. I appreciate that, even though I haven't really said anything yet. I had a birthday recently, and my father was kind enough to send me some money, which was very sweet and something I absolutely wasn't expecting. And that was really nice of him. So I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about my mother, and I was like, I'm not telling my mother that he did that for me. Well, number one, it's none of her business. But number two, I mean, you know how, when your parents split up, there's always 9 times out of 10 some little animosity going on with the rents or whatever. So I was thinking, like, no, I'm not going to tell her. It's none of her business, number one. And number two, I mean, I should be able to tell her, but it's like, I just don't want to bring him up. I don't want to upset her. But I was thinking she should be happy that he's doing that for me, because if you let her tell it, he owes her child support for 20 years or whatever. So I was just thinking, how some divorced women kind of carry that bitterness and treat child support. And I titled it, Child Support is Not Punitive Damages, because there's so many divorced women or women who who are not with their kids' fathers, who use child support as a means to punish the father for, number one, leaving her with the well, I won't say leaving her with the kids, because it's not always a matter of the mother being left with the kids, but the mother sometimes uses the kids as leverage against the man because they're not together anymore. And I'm not saying this, I'm not just talking about it out of my ass. I've experienced this firsthand, and I've seen women do this to men. And sole custody dad here, no child support for years, only pushed when men don't pay. Right on, sole custody dad. It's just, and it's really sad, because it's, of course, damaging to everybody involved, but especially damaging to the children. And it's almost as if the woman wants the child. It's like they use the child support like, it's not so much about making sure the children are taken care of, but it's about, well, you left me, or we didn't work out, so you need to compensate me for us not working out, more than it being about the kids. Because I'll tell you, I can't say my life was so much better because we received child support. I mean, because we didn't. He did what he could, but he had to do what he could only do so much, because she wouldn't really allow him. I'm talking about my mother. My mother wouldn't really allow our father to be in our lives because she was mad at him. So, and it's not a unique story, I'm telling you my business, but I mean, I'm sure you've heard this from a million people. I'm telling a lot of people's story right now. Child support is not punitive damages. It's just that, child support. And it's very rare in this day and age, in any day and age, and then ever since the day and age of divorce, that, oh, thank you for the hearts. That means you're really listening, really feeling what I'm saying. I lost a lot of people. That's probably some single mothers. That's okay. They need to hear this. I mean, I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth. That's all I can do. I walk in the truth. But can't do that. Can't do it. Can't do that. You have to be a really well-rounded, well-grounded, I'll say that, well-grounded woman to keep a healthy relationship with your ex for the sake of the children. If you can, if the relationship wasn't abusive or whatever, is so important. And taking your anger about the relationship not working out, or how you perceived him to have treated you, out on the kids. I'm going to tell you something. Kids are smart, and yes, kids are resilient, but kids know when something's messed up. They know when something's wrong, and they know when things aren't right, and they know when you're not angry. And those conversations that you're having low-key and whispering, they can hear, they can comprehend. Their kids are very intelligent, Don't underestimate how damaging it is what you're doing, because it is very damaging. very detrimental to the health and well-being of your child to hear their mother saying derogatory things about their father or about men in general. If you find that you have come to the end of a relationship and that man has made you so angry that you find yourself taking out on the children, especially when those children look like the man that abandoned you, you need to do some work on yourself. You need to do some work on yourself, because the priority is the children. I don't mean that in this whole modern child worshiping sense that children become above all, end all, be all, and you should work and you worship your children and all that kind of stuff. I'm just saying, if you brought them into this world, you have to do what's best for them. And you also have to remember that you chose that man, that there was something in you that attracted you to that man, that you chose him to be in your life, and you chose to be that vessel for his children. So you have to woman up and take some responsibility for the choices that you made. Yeah, and I know on some level we all chose to be here, and our mother and father have served as those vessels to facilitate us into the world. But at the same time, you have to be an adult and man up and woman up to your choices. And so that's all I'm saying. And I think it's just really sad that that's the way child support is used, and how courts just tend to 9 times out of 10 take the woman's side, and all she has to do is, talk some crazy stuff, and then, she's getting child support from someone, and people on the job know all the man's business, and he has to do this dance, with the woman. And a lot of times men out here really try. I mean, sometimes we don't give them enough credit. They really try, and they're really out here doing their best. But we, as scorned women, want some get back. Well, you can only see them this time, and you better have them back by such and such. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not making this up. I've heard these conversations as a child. I've been around women who have treated their exes like this, and show such anger and animosity towards the child just for looking like their dad. So that was just on my mind. I had to get that out. I was like, oh my gosh, this is great. I have to share this. And I know it's odd to hear a woman talk like this, because I'm supposed to be, a lot of us sisters co-sign our broken girlfriends, and we co-sign their bullshit, and we need to stop doing that too when we see our friends acting a fool and doing these crazy things in the name of having some get back for that man. Sisters, let's stop co-signing stupidity. When your friend is in the wrong, and when what she's doing, if what she's doing isn't cool, don't be afraid to tell her. Being a good friend doesn't mean following your friend through hell. Okay? I'm not with that. I'm not that kind of friend. I'm sorry. I'm not going to follow you through hell and back. I know it sounds real dramatic and with that ride or die shit, but sometimes that ride or die shit can be really overrated. Okay? So don't let your girlfriend get you fucked up around here. Because she will, especially if she's crazy and she's bitter and she's going through it with her ex. Be the voice of reason. And if she doesn't want to listen, that's her business. Don't make her problems your problems, okay? And I'm only telling you because I love you. April Book 7, thank you for joining, but that's all I got. So watch the replay, and when you do watch the replay, hit me up with some hearts. Let me know what you think. Follow me on Twitter. And, I'd love to talk to you. Tell me what you think. It's not about right or wrong. It's an opinion. It was on my mind, and I felt like sharing it. So thanks for tuning in, and thanks for feeling me. And I will talk to you all later. I got to get back to my errands. Bye.